Fifth question on national security to Mr. Harbaugh first. President Trump has claimed that national security requires stricter controls on the legal and illegal flow of people into the United States. So, among other policies, the President has imposed a ban on travel from certain countries and has argued for building a wall along the U.S.-Mexico border. The President has made a similar argument on trade, claiming that national security requires imposing or threatening to impose safeguard tariffs on products like steel, aluminum, solar panels, and washing machines from countries such as China, South Korea, Mexico, and Canada. Do you agree with President Trump that national security requires supporting his policies on immigration and trade?
We are a nation of laws. We have to secure our borders. We have to take every instance on a case-by-case basis. But can we get serious about the existential threats we face as a nation? I flew the first recon mission off of North Korea after 9/11. And I remember briefing my crew as the sun came up, telling them, I didn't give a lot of speeches before missions, but I gave one this morning. Because I said, make every decision like your life depends on it, because on this flight, your life very well may depend on it. The lives of everyone you love back at home very well may depend on it. I served on the front lines of some of the most challenging and intractable national security crises our country has faced. I flew recon missions off nuclear-equipped adversaries like China and North Korea. I flew over the Middle East during Operation Enduring Freedom. And I think we need to start having a serious conversation about the actual threats our nation faces, the existential threats our nation faces. We are 17 years into the longest wars in America's history, and we have a Congress that refuses to call them wars. That is an abdication of their Article I responsibility under the Constitution. But I think I know why. Because we have today the lowest proportion of veterans in Congress than at any point in modern history. There is a direct connection between that and the misadventures we've gotten into over the last 17 years, the misadventures we continue to get into. We are about to pull out of the INF Treaty, a nuclear treaty that eliminated an entire class of weapons 30 years ago, a treaty that my father was on the front lines of implementing as the commander of a nuclear missile wing in Europe under Ronald Reagan. And we are about to embark on a new nuclear arms race because we lack the seriousness in Congress to address these threats. Think about this. We are about to send young men and women to Afghanistan who were born after 9/11. And we have a Congress that has virtually no experience in wartime. Now I know Congressman Gibbs has joked about his service in Washington being every bit as risky, every bit as dangerous as the service of those who put on body armor, who walk patrol in Fallujah, who walk patrol in Kandahar. Congressman Gibbs, I'm going to yield my time to give you a chance to apologize to the 50,000 veterans in this district.
I am a veteran. How dare you? How dare you? You don't treat veterans like that. You apologize to Congressman Gibbs.
Well, he's misinterpreted what happened in that little interview. Obviously, when our men and women, our brave soldiers, go into the service, their lives on the line, there's no comparison to that, and I truly honor and respect that and thank them for that service. But what happened in the interview, a thought came across my mind, and I said, members of Congress facing dangers too. I should never have said it, but what a lot of people in my mind was we had to give for Steve Scalise and some other people, and also a few years ago when I was attacked in my house by a person, and that was coming through my mind. I stopped right there and I said, this is not a joke, I'm not joking, he's misinterpreting what I'm saying, he's trying to make a political hate out of that. I want to talk about what the officer said. Russia, we're pulling out, we're not pulling out, we're trying to renegotiate. President Trump threatens to do things, we'll see what happens to get their attention, but they've been cheating. And China's not part of that. China needs to be part of that agreement too. So let's just like we're doing trade deals, let's renegotiate, let's relook at these, and not just go on and on and on and be a bunch of patsies. National security, we've been rebuilding the military under the previous administration and the Democrats. They gutted the military. We're rebuilding that now. You check the military. I know this happened after my appointed service, because he left right before the Obama administration, what happened with the sequester. But we're putting more money into that, we're rebuilding it. When I heard that we have to go and steal parts off planes that can't fly to make our planes fly. When I hear that some of our pilots now in the Air Force only get 4 hours a month training, last year we lost more people in training than we did in actual combat, like 4 to 1. That's not right. So we're making sure they're getting the equipment. We're putting the military, we're building that up, and we're increasing that budget, and we're seeing the change. We're seeing how much safer we are, where he talks about extra threats. Kim Jong-un's not launching any ICBMs or trying to develop nuclear weapons. We're actually talking, that's a good thing. We got tough sanctions on North Korea, we got tough sanctions on Iran. People in Iran are trying to rebel, but they can't do it. So the tough sanctions are helping the work. The world is safer. Hopefully, we never have to use our awesome forces, but it's one heck of a deterrent. When President Trump sent 2 aircraft carrier groups over to North Korea and got China to close the border to trade with them, that put a big hurt on Kim Jong-un. And it's really important. That's why he comes to the table, because he doesn't value life like we do here in America. The only life he values is his own. And you have to be tough. You just can't be a patsy. And President Trump is being tough, and we're seeing the results because the world is a safer place, and he's not launching ICBMs or trying to develop nuclear weapons. So the jury's still out. We'll see what happens, but I feel a lot more encouraged than I did 12 months ago.
Congressman Gibbs can pay lip service all he wants to our men in the uniform, but we are a nation at war, 17 years into the longest wars in America's history, and Congress has not done its job. And there is no emptier expression of support than thanking veterans for their service and then voting to take health care away from their families.